There's no question that we're an excited group. And I mean, you first have to, how hard it is to get through these things. And I've lived this for so long, and you got to be lucky and you got to be good and things go your way. And you can't take it for granted, and how fortunate we are that we're able to pop our way through the Fargo regional. And the fact we've had such a horrible winter here in Minnesota, I think there are going to be a whole lot of people heading south to get to Tampa. From what I'm understanding, it's going to be crazy. So we are excited.
Awesome. We'll use the raise hand function again. And again, please identify yourself each time we open your mic. And Mr. Garrison, we'll start with you. Please go ahead.
Hi, Dave. Coach, I just wanted to get your thoughts on the matchup against BU and just some of the points of focus that you guys are going to have this week in practice and next week.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be real honest that you're catching us when we're coming back. We're digging into BU right now. So specifics, I mean, 29 wins, defenseman that's just been outstanding. That's led the, leading scorer on their team. First year coach has just done a terrific job. They're loaded with talent, and they're on a hot streak right now too. So we're going to dig into them all week as we're going through and put our game plan together, as we move through the week. But right now it's been like a little bit of rest and recovery. We gave them Monday off, and we're just actually getting back at it today and get this thing going.
All right, great. Referring to sneaky, we had Lane Hudson on the national junior team. And of course, you have Logan Cooley, and those two kids are good friends, and they coin nicknames for each other, Sneaky and Squeaky. So we're going to see that matchup, I guess, in Tampa. All right, Mr. Morial, over to you. Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks, Fish. Mike Morial, NHL.com. Good morning, Coach. So Bob, you always hear of how difficult it is for freshmen in their NCAA first year NCAAs. I'm just curious to get your thoughts on why you feel 5 of the top 10 NCAA point producers this season happen to be freshmen. I know there are 2 from your club. Is it an anomaly, Bob, or do you see a trend? Is it the work or coaching leading up to the coaching level, college level? Excuse me. What do you think?
Well, first, Mike, good to hear your voice, pal. They're terrific players. Number one, I mean, these are special players. Cooley, Snuggerud, Fantilli, Hudson, and I know there are more out there. These freshmen that have just had terrific seasons and track records of that. There's a path for freshmen to be good in college hockey. It's always been there. This might be just one of those hot years where it's there. And I don't know if I dig into it as much, as the question you ask, why. I'm just darn glad we have a couple of them here, to be honest with you. But we'll get into it. But the key to our team is still our older guys that are back with us. But they are sure good players, and we've seen enough clips of all these guys throughout the whole season. That's a special group.
Great question, Mike. Chris Peters, over to you. Your mic is open. Please go ahead. Welcome.
Thanks, Fish. Hi, Bob. Chris Peters, Full Sports. My question goes back to the freshmen, particularly Logan Cooley. I mean, here's a guy who comes from out of state and obviously one of the elite players of college hockey. But I mean, you look at the way that he kind of can take over games. That's what we don't necessarily see a whole lot. What have you seen in terms of his development and his ability to continue to elevate, especially at this late stage of the season?
Well, Logan, and I put Snuggerud in the same category, but Logan, his skating ability is elite. His skill is elite, and that alone sets him apart. But the greatest skill factor in him is his compete level. I mean, he is an ornery, tough competitor. And I know I've said it a few times in the last week when you keep playing that I'd rather, any coach who can tell you you'd rather put a fire out than start one. And we've got to put fires out with him. And that's what's great about him. the more he gets into it, the more he gets his blood going. We tell him, you can go to the edge, but don't cross the edge, when in his feistiness, let it come out in your talent. And he's really developed in that. He took a major penalty early in the year at Michigan, and it was a pretty heated, series, obviously. And it kind of, I think, I'm just guessing this. He and I really haven't, but sitting out, and he got suspended a game for it. And you know what? I think he didn't like sitting out, and it said, you know what? I got to learn a lesson here. I have to keep my energy in focus and in check, and just keep it in the hockey. And I think that was a great learning moment for him. And he just continually gets better. He continually wants the puck in big moments, and he's not afraid of any moment. And with all that, he doesn't even shave yet. That's what's crazy. He is just a young fireball that is so fun.
All right, let's go to someone that is into shaving right now. Randy Johnson. Randy, welcome.
I don't know if I can match that transition there, Fish. Bob, you coached Thomas Vanek as a freshman and juniors. Do you see any parallels between him and Logan Cooley?
Yeah, I mean, they're different types of players. Thomas, natural scorer. I mean, if Thomas played today, he'd still score. He's been off for a while. He just has that ability to, he loves to be in front of the net. Logan's a driver. Logan's a true center. He's gotten so much better in the defensive zone in all areas of his game. But the fact, I always remember one thing with Thomas and with Logan, when they get the puck, the whole rink freezes. The other team, coaches, players, and the fans, there's a pause, and everyone waits to see what's going to happen when the great ones get it. And I saw Thomas had that when I was coaching him when he was 15 and 16 years old down in Sioux Falls. He brought it here to Minnesota, and now being around Logan this year, the same thing. We all, our team and our fans, and I think opposing teams, they wait to see what's going to happen. There's a pause just for a second, and then you wait for it again. And that's just that it factor that players like that have.
That's awesome. Great description there for sure. Jess Myers. Jess, welcome back.
Hi, Bob. Hoping you had a good birthday yesterday. Jess Myers from the Rink Live. Just wanted to ask about your two previous trips to the Frozen Four as a head coach in 2013 and last year, and just kind of what lessons you take from those. I know you're always learning and growing, and what did you learn from those two previous trips?
Well, I don't like losing the first game. I can tell you that. There's nothing worse than having to get on a plane and leave. I think I'm just going to say, I think there's an experience. Sometimes I think programs have to, thank goodness we punched our ticket to get back again, because we have guys that have been there. We scored the first goal last year, then we never really got off again. And maybe it's, there is so much pageantry going on this week, and we've got older guys that can help guide that. Every family member's going down. I mean, you have to embrace it, but you got to keep your focus on what's in front of you. And hopefully there's a lesson from our guys from a year ago that, just how to stay in the moment, that they can, lead, lend some leadership down to our young guys. Once the parents all have their tickets and their hotels and their travel plans, yes, we're going to, I want them to enjoy and embrace every moment, but there has to be a time where you shut it all off and it's back to hockey and it's back to the task at hand. And my hope right now is that we have enough leadership that lived that last year and can take the next step.
All right, great. Thanks, Jess. You have birthday cake yesterday, Mats, or?
Unfortunately, yes.
All right.
It's been a bad month.
All right, last question over to you, Eric. Please go ahead.
Bob, Eric Vigo, Gopher Puck Live. you've been progressing with this program the last couple of years. You know, you had a team that was ready to go to Penn State and COVID knocked it out. You had a team that goes to the Frozen Four last year. You're back again. Are there any specifics you see out of your players that are different, how they handle the pressure and the situation right now at this time of the year?
I mean, I don't, Eric, I can't answer that like, I thought we were ready last year. We had some injuries last year that affected us, you know, and we've got one right now too, that we'll, you know, we'll see how the week progresses. Cause you know, because boy, when you get down to the end, you are playing, you know, we're playing a team with 29 wins in Boston University, you know, and it is going to be a tug of war match, and you want to have all hands on deck. So I just love our leadership. I love our talent. We're in a great spot. We just got to get after it and get on there and play our game. And like I think maybe, like I said, the lesson learned last year is maybe there were some distractions that got into us. You don't ever want to overanalyze it. Give Mankato a ton of credit a year ago. But this is a new year and new group, and we're in a good spot. That's Eric. We're in a good spot. I can't wait to play, and I'm really happy we got the first game.
All right, Bob, congratulations. We look forward to seeing you in Tampa. Thanks for the time today. Safe travels.
Okay. Thanks, Fish. Good to see you, pal.
Good to see you too.